My name is Emily Hart, and I am the station manager of Summit Station in Greenland. I've just been here about a month and a half-ish. It's my first time working at Summit Station. I've worked down in Antarctica for many seasons. So my job is to make everyone else's jobs as easy as possible. So this is the base unit for the VHF, and this is how I talk to everybody on station. So you see a lot of people with little handheld radios, and that's what that is. That's a very high frequency radio. This one is called the air band. That's how I talk to the planes. They can call me on that when they're about 30 minutes out. They're close enough for us to communicate. This is an HF radio, also known as high frequency. I can talk to Kangaroo on that. You can talk to people very, very, very far away. We have a ton of different ways to communicate with the outside world in this office, which is good because we need redundancy in case one form of communication goes down.
My name is Shannon Wilson, and my educational background, I'm a bachelor's in psychology, and my master's is in sustainable development.
Here at Summit Station, what do you actually do?
My job is, I'm a field coordinator, and my job is basically help out every department, really. I'm the person who put up your tents, for example, but I also help in the kitchen, fix and build things around the station. Basically anything that you guys use.
Well, how did you actually get the opportunity to get here?
Well, I worked in Antarctica for a long time, since 1998. And once you work in one polar program, you kind of learn about other ones as well, like in Alaska and here. And so a lot of people work in all the different programs. And so I've heard about Greenland for a long time, and I just applied and was fortunate to get a position.
My name is Rich Gunderson. I'm the mechanic at Summit Station. Typical day. I don't know if there is a typical day. So, well, every day, big thing that I have to do is monitor. We have electricity, so it's monitoring the generators, keeping them going. So that's something I do every day, regardless. And then it's whatever else needs to be done. Currently working on a generator, got a snowmobile apart, got a bunch of freight in, so always something. It's a good question, and I haven't had specific training on anything here. Prior to starting work with the United States Antarctic Program, I'd been a mechanic for 25 years, so I guess a fairly extensive mechanics background. But then once you hit an ice sheet or an ice shelf, everything changes. So I guess in that respect I just draw on years of experience trying to keep things going and not hurt myself.
Big differences in your responsibilities? Or?
No, they're very well. Let's see. What we're working on is similar, not exactly the same, but a similar kind of deal. And I do less. So far, I haven't had to fix anything out in the snow here. I've been able to get everything into the shop. A big difference between this and like being a mechanic and like if you were at McMurdo Station, I'd be one of 15 mechanics. Whereas here I'm the only mechanic. So it's more like having a field job in Antarctica, which I've done. So you're the only mechanic. The difference being I wouldn't be responsible for as much stuff at a field camp in Antarctica, or I haven't been, as I am here. Yeah. A lot of equipment here.
Yeah. Do you also have to work on the equipment?
It's fun. Why wouldn't you want to live here? I don't, yeah, it's a unique thing.
Will you come back, you think?
I would, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a neat environment. I'd like to do a different season. Maybe the winter, maybe when they bring everything up in the spring. Yep.
And then
my name is David New, and we're up here doing a research project looking at the water and energy balance of the Greenland ice sheet, particularly linking in the water balance to the past climate. I have a degree in meteorology from a geology program, as well as I've worked in the geological department as well. For my PhD, I was looking at the climate of Antarctica. The idea of this project is to better understand the relationship between the weather and climate and what we recover from the ice core as weather and climate of the past. The reason for doing this, or one of the reasons for doing this, is to understand some of the mechanisms that control the temperature and the history, the temperature and energy balance of the ice sheet, which we can then use to better understand how climate might change in the future here in Greenland. This year we're here for 3 weeks, and it's the 4th year we've been here in the summertime. We've been coming up to monitor our experiment every summertime for 4 years. Just Greenland. I haven't done any other Arctic research. One of the advantages of Greenland is it's a giant ice sheet, and we're interested in the history of the ice sheet, so this is the best place to come in the Northern Hemisphere. When we're using our results, we release them in a number of different ways. One of the ways we do to use the measurements we have is to improve models of climate, weather and climate, particularly how weather influences the ice sheet. One of the reasons this is useful is if we can improve climate models, we can advance or improve the prediction of climate in the future.
My name is Max Berkelhammer, and I'm here working on a research project looking at the water balance and paleoclimate of Greenland. Well, I studied geology and earth sciences for my PhD, looking at climate trends and hydroclimate, so how it changes in the water cycle. And I came to Summit on 4 years ago, originally, when I was a postdoc at the University of Colorado on a project to look at the water budget. The remote location and the inability to get back here to fix things if there's a problem, the weather, the fact that you're sort of constantly dealing with snow and cold weather just makes it a challenging environment to work in.
I'm Lana Cohen, and I'm a science technician. So up here, I'm in charge of, well, I'm taking care of the ice caps project. So those are it's the group of instruments out at the MSF, and we're looking at clouds and radiation balance. So the radiosonde balloons are part of the sort of characterization of the atmosphere, and we're measuring temperature, humidity, and pressure and wind speeds and direction. So for the radiosonde balloons, so there's the radiosondes themselves, which are the little instruments about this big, and then the balloons themselves, which of course take lots of helium. And then this equipment is sort of all of the data processing and the signal processing. So the data gets sent back via radio, and there's an antenna on the roof, and then it goes through this. This is the receiver, and then all of the data goes through some programming. It spits it out into MET files for the World Meteorological Organization. So the balloons, I think, are about $150 US dollars, and the sondes, I think, are about $200 to $250. And then the helium is a whole cost on top of that.
How often do you let these weather balloons go up into the...
So these are twice daily, so we do them 12 hours apart every single day, and it's part of, they go off at very specific times because they're coordinated worldwide with all of the other balloon launches. So I have a PhD in atmospheric science, and I've been coming up to Summit since 2004. I was originally up here as a master's student doing atmospheric chemistry and meteorology. So the balloons generally go at least 20 kilometers up, usually around 25 kilometers, and so that's well into the stratosphere. So here the troposphere stratosphere boundary is about 8 kilometers, so they go quite high. We came in early June, so we've been here since early June, and I probably won't come back just because I have a new job working at the Norwegian Polar Institute. So this will be my, I think, 7th season as a science tech, and it's a fun job because every time you do it, it's something different. So the work itself is different, and then also coming back at different parts of the year we're here in the summer, and there's lots of people here and lots of things going on. But in the winter, there's only a core staff of 5, and so it's quite different. It's dark, and yeah, so it's quite fun. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's quite fun. I mean, obviously I enjoy the science. The science is quite fun, but the people are all really fun, and it's kind of nice to just sort of step away from your normal life for a while, and yeah, it's good.
Thank you. That's all.
My name's Kathy, and I'm the cook. This is my 2nd season, but I'm kind of unique. Most people come up for like about 4-month shifts, but I only come up for less than 3 months. I came here very beginning of June, and I'll leave 3rd week of August. I'm actually not really a trained cook. I have worked in Antarctica mostly as a cook and baker, but I actually have a college degree in wilderness leadership, so I did a lot of, before getting into the field camp cooking, I did a lot of like guiding wilderness trips, so it's used to remote places, and I heard about working in Antarctica, and I basically just applied for all sorts of jobs, anything I was qualified for, and I was a baker through college, and I got hired as a baker and then just kind of kept doing it. So I'm not really when I'm back in the real world, I don't cook in restaurants. I do more guiding and wilderness trips. When there gets to be many people, because I'm the only cook, so thankfully it doesn't last for very long. It's maybe a week or 10 days. But it can be a lot of work, cooking 2 meals twice a day for like 30 to 50 people.